So I'm going into Whole Foods to get some dinner, and maybe I will meet the man of my dreams.
This is the place you need to be frequenting to find husband material.
I always say I'm going to meet my husband at the Whole Foods olive bar because that's such a green flag. Like, he knows like fancy little hors d'oeuvres snacks.
Women are going to Whole Foods to find husbands.
Okay, ladies, I think I cracked the code on where to find really hot guys. Whole Foods. They were everywhere.
So I just went to Whole Foods. Mind you, I live in Tribeca, where there's a lot of hot men.
Today, we are going to IKEA. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking there aren't any single...
They're trying and trying, but falling short. These men do not want to be found.
Is Whole Foods a place to meet people? I go every single day looking like this, and I must say, the men, I'm attracted to men, are very good looking. And Whole Foods, it kind of has me thinking I should not go in sweats.
Thirsty much?
This is literally the most beautiful man I've ever seen. I'm probably not gonna talk to him because I'm a nervous wreck, but oh Lord.
Don't try to stop acting like fine single men just be everywhere. Y'all be like, you never know, you might meet him at the grocery store. I ain't never seen a fine single man at Trader Joe's. Ever. I ain't never seen a fine single man at Publix. Ever. The boys be Instacarting. They don't be at the grocery store.
Okay, I just have to show you guys this. Like, I have to go return some Amazon things at Whole Foods, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll find the love of my life dressed like this. I'm also gonna go for a walk, but I'm like, what? Try harder, but I can't be bothered. Have a great Saturday. And maybe, you know, if you find the love of your life wearing no makeup and looking like a literal troll, good for you. Couldn't be me.
Marriage is not coming back. More and more men worthy of the name recognize the irrefutable fact the proper spelling for marriage is M-I-R-A-G-E, and thus is detrimental to your financial and emotional health. Doubling your responsibilities and cutting your assets by at least 1/3 for your spouse, to one day say, I'm not happy, I've been sleeping with my co-worker, I want half, and I want you to pay my attorney fees, is not the kind of contract rational men willingly sign. Men would consider it if women hadn't taken their most valuable asset, their sexual market value, and destroyed it. If pussy were a stock, it would be plummeting on the exchanges right now. Why? Because women have flooded the market with it. The truth is, we never were that interested in it. Society, mostly religion, pushed us into it, and women tricked us into thinking we were getting something special. Today, things are quite different. Society doesn't pressure us into getting married anymore, and the religions that pushed it are dying out. Also, women don't trick us into thinking we're getting something special anymore. The quality of the product has diminished. A lot of men are getting the benefits of marriage. Today, men can shack up, get friends with benefits, have one-night stands, and have children without having to put a ring on it. Women are all too happy to do all the things I mentioned. How can men be serious about marriage when so many women aren't? On top of this, women are getting more like men, and straight guys aren't really all that attracted to men. On top of this, today's divorce laws heavily favor the lower wage-earning spouse in favor of the higher wage-earning spouse, even if the lower earner cheated or abused the higher wage earner. Most husbands are going to out-earn their wives, except for a narrow sliver of college-educated millennials, in which the wife is favored to out-earn her husband. But then guess what? If a woman earns the same or more than her husband, she'll turn against her husband most of the time for being dead weight. In short, the rewards have diminished, while the pitfalls of marriage have grown exponentially. In the old days, women would seek to make themselves very attractive to men and convince men they were something very special. To convince men that women were the better sex, what would civilize us? The man would become convinced that if he didn't lock the woman down through marriage, he'd have a hard time finding a woman of equal or better value. Modern women aren't at all special when viewed through the lens of what men find attractive. I'm talking beyond sexual attraction. We're sexually attractive to almost all women. I'm talking about the kind of attraction that makes a man feel he wouldn't want to live his life without a particular woman. Modern women don't have that. Ask a modern woman why she's a good catch today, and you'll get a litany of qualities that men don't care about. Or even worse, you get a blank empty answer, because I'm me. Any man should be happy with me. Today, there isn't a single logical reason for a man to get married. There is no benefit for him that marriage delivers that can't be had in a non-married romantic relationship. On the contrary, there are numerous disadvantages that marriage brings that a non-married romantic relationship does not bring. About half of all first marriages last about 10 years. The common causes are infidelity, domestic violence, constant arguing, and just plain loss of love. Now here comes the bad deal, and it's called children. In most divorces, the man gets hit hard in the wallet. He will most likely end up paying child support for many years, and usually the price is pretty steep. And almost always, the wife gets full custody of the kids, even if she's a drug addict and an alcoholic. Depending on visitation schedules, an ex-husband may only get to see his kids 2 or 3 days a month. And then there is alimony. Depending on the whim of a judge, a man may pay an outrageous amount of money to his ex for many years. So many men are waving away the thought of marriage, because in the light of day, it really socks. So, who is responsible for this transformation over many years? It isn't men. It isn't our dogs and cats. It is women. And oh my gosh, how could that be? And what am I talking about? A movement took hold many years ago to make the playing ground an equal opportunity playing ground for both sexes, and it was a long time in coming, and I cheered it on. It was a rough start, but today women have the opportunity to be equal with men in education and professions, and opportunities for upward growth and compensation. Now, with all the good stuff, came a big change in culture and society, and it has been fueled by the movement called feminism. Life is balanced by a yin-yang factor. With the good comes the unwanted. Women have been told to enjoy their lives in every way that they can. You no longer have to wait for a man to approach you sexually. You can do it all on your own. Have sex with as many guys as you want, so go ahead and settle down in a few years. You are young and beautiful, so use it to your advantage. At one time, finding someone who would have physical intimacy with you was near impossible. Today, it's not a problem or big deal. So if women are giving it up so easily, why would a guy buy the cow when he can get the milk for free? Women control the world of sex, but men control the aspect of commitment. There are men who marry, and then several years later, discover that their wife was making and distributing training videos that required her to be helped by many men and women. Young women mature faster than young men do, and often will either reject a guy outright or just put him in the friend zone. So many of these guys get turned off to dating, and by the time the women want to get serious, many of the guys they rejected are no longer interested in a relationship. They have grown up emotionally and intellectually. They have good jobs, solid incomes, money in the bank, and often a friend with benefits. They do what they want, when they want, and don't have to explain anything to anybody. Marriage will rob them of their freedom, and they are not going to give that up. By year 2030, over 50% of women will be single. That's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. If you find value in my videos, you can show your support through PayPal or Cash App. The links are in the description. See you next time. Cheers.